This is episode number 3 of the Online Playmaker Sessions. This week's episode is with my good friend, top affiliate, video marketing and lead generation expert and trainer, Mark Harbert.
Welcome to the Online Playmaker Sessions. This is the place for the latest what's working now strategies from the best online playmakers, the top marketers, the rising stars who are making it happen right now. Every week, you'll get real, actionable lessons that you can take and apply immediately in your business, delivered in short 20-minute sessions. Our focus is your results. Here's your host, entrepreneur, world-class trainer, and marketing strategist, Norbert Orlowitz.
Hello, online playmakers. If this is your first time tuning into the Playmaker Sessions, thank you for choosing us, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, and if you prefer video, our YouTube channel at onlineprofitplaybook.tv. As with all of our episodes, we have all the show notes, transcripts, and actionable tips over on the blog. Just head over to www.onlineprofitplaybook.com. You'll also be able to get access to my complimentary 5-video tutorial series on building the proper foundation for your online business, as well as several other free trainings, including my Instant Income Multiplier tutorial. And if you're ready to multiply your results fast, check out the premium membership of our Online Profit Playbook, where our guests open up their closely guarded playbooks and walk you step by step through the exact marketing funnels and sales process they use to build their audience, grow their influence, and make sales. Get the coveted Online Profit Playbook today. Just head over to onlineprofitplaybook.com and join the Playmakers. Okay, let's get started with this week's session. This week, I have with me my good friend from sunny Florida, top affiliate, video marketing and lead generation expert and trainer, Mark Harbert. Mark has an incredible story. Starting out online with literally $7 in his bank account, he had to share the purchase of a $10 ebook with his friend and business partner at the time. But Mark took massive action. He focused all of his energy on mastering video marketing, and within just a few short months, not only was he able to generate thousands of leads, earn a nice income in affiliate commissions, but he quickly established himself as a video marketing expert. Mark has now established himself as a top-earning affiliate in the industry and an expert video marketing and lead generation expert, speaker, and trainer. He has developed a wide range of digital training courses that have been helping thousands of entrepreneurs around the world. This week's online playmaker, Mark Harbert. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Norbert Orlowitz here, and we've got another awesome session here for you guys today. And today, we've got the incredible Mark Harbert from down in Florida. Mark, how are you doing today?
What's up, Norb?
Awesome.
Happy to be here, man. It's always a pleasure to be with you, brother.
Right on. A little virtual fist pump there to get the morning started. Right on. Well, Mark, I'm honored to have you here on the show, and I'm really excited for the value and information and wisdom and knowledge and tips that you're going to share with our listeners here today. And I know we've got a power-packed 20 minutes that we're going to spend here together, and we're just going to try to get as much info into you guys in the next 20 minutes as we possibly can. So, like I said, Mark, we're going to jump right into the interview and get started. And the first thing that I want to do now, Mark, you've been having a lot of success for quite a few years now. You know, I would call you a veteran in this industry now.
Kind of wild, man.
Which is kind of wild, isn't it? I know the years kind of fly by.
Yeah.
But Mark, I remember when you were getting started, and you've got an incredible story of struggle to success. And I think, like all marketers, there's a period of struggle that we're going to go through. And for some marketers, it's shorter. For some marketers, it's longer. But all of us have a period of success where we're learning, you know, these new skills, all this new information, this new knowledge. It can be a little overwhelming at times. What I'd love for you to do is to share with our listeners and viewers, go back a few years to when you were struggling, all right? And I want you to share with everybody, what were some of the breakthroughs, some of the big aha moments, some of the big shifts that happened for you that you could sort of contribute to you making the breakthrough, going from that place of struggle, failure, overwhelm, uncertainty,
to finally starting to get results? What were some of those shifts?
You know, for me, what's interesting is I had started in the home business industry. I got involved in network marketing in 2000, and I went a long time. It wasn't until about 2012 where I started breaking through. And the incredible thing is that most people quit after 90 days.
Yeah.
So what was it that caused me to stick in there? Really, ultimately, it was I had a freedom bug. I wanted my freedom. I didn't like my job. But that is just a seed that was planted in my head for many years, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. So for me, what finally got to the point where I actually had a breakthrough is when my back was against the wall. I was at a point where it was make or break. I had $7 in my bank account. I needed to put. We had no groceries, and my back was literally against the wall. It was either do something now, or I've got to get out and get a job and make some quick money. You know, and so when my back was against the wall, I don't know what it did, but I just sprung into like, you know, massive action mode. And because the thought of not being able to feed my family was like the driving force to really make me do that. And
Wow.
you know, I've said it before, but it's incredible what you'll do when your back is against the wall. And for me, it was. You know, that was the big breakthrough for me.
So, okay, so what did you do then? What did you do? What was, when you sprung into action, what actions did you take? What did you do
Yeah.
to now start to create results?
Well, you know, for all these years I had been involved, I had been investing in myself, learning, training, going through all these courses, and I gained all this knowledge. The only problem was I wasn't applying it. So I'm gaining all this knowledge and all this head knowledge, and my head, you know, could practically fall over, you know, because I knew so much. But for whatever reason, I was not taking consistent enough action because that belief in myself hadn't gotten there yet. So like I said, when I got to that point where my back was against the wall, I had to get some belief, and I just went out and I started creating content like a madman. You know, it was creating content. I mean, there were days where I created 10 videos in one day. You know, it was like one right after the other. Like, okay, I got a list of stuff I'm gonna do. Bang, create the video. Bang, create another one. Create, you know, bang, 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 like machine gunning content. And you know, sometimes I get people that ask me, how many videos a day should I make? Well, how fast do you want to go?
How much do you want it? Yeah.
I mean, it's really, you know, there's no formula other than just get in and start kicking ass, and that's what happened with me.
The Mark Harbert formula for success.
Yes.
Get in there and start kicking ass.
Yeah, you got to go for it, man. And it's like, and that's really ultimately what happened. Once I kind of broke through, I'm like, wow, this really does work. You know, and as soon as I made my first $1,000, it was over. I was like, now I know it works. I mean, I've made money, but now I'm making real tangible money. And I just started doing more and more of what I had already been doing that was bringing in the results for me.
Okay, well, I love this because you're the third interview now that I've done, and for this question, every single person so far, part of their answer, and there's different elements to the answer, but part of their answer is creating content.
Yeah.
And you know, that's for all those people that are listening right now, that if you're looking for a breakthrough in your business, and I don't know how many times I've said this, and I'm sure you've said this to your students as well, get out there and start creating content.
Yep. It's crucial.
And there's so many things. It's kind of like when we preach about get to events.
Yep.
Right? There's some things that happen at live events that you can't even explain, you can't define, you can't specifically say this is what's going to happen. But there's something that happens by going to a live event that creates something magical, because it seems like the people that attend events have results. It's the same thing with creating content. The people that create content get results. And it's not specifically something that they're doing. I really think it's a way for you to apply, like you said, it's a way for you to practically apply all the knowledge that you are learning.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if it's a little bit of knowledge or if it's like what you said, you were filling up your brain with years full of knowledge. Right? It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have. It's just the fact that you get into action and you actually start to apply it. And like Bill said in the first interview that I did, what Bill said is, he said, we're entrepreneurs. We're meant to create things.
Yep.
Right? We're meant to bring value into the marketplace. And so by taking this action of creating content, we are practically, literally, physically doing that.
Yep. Yeah.
Easy way to do it.
That's exactly it. And I look at content like fish hooks in the ocean, and ultimately when you're creating content, videos, blog posts, articles, all kinds of content, what's happening is you're just literally putting another fish hook out in the ocean. I mean, if you go out fishing and you put one pole out there, what's going to happen? You may catch a fish, but you're going to catch a lot more fish if you throw 30 poles out into the ocean. You see what I mean? And ultimately, that's what content does. And there's a residual aspect to content, where as you build it up, I mean, it's kind of like this whirlwind of traffic starts coming in. But content does a couple different things. Number one, it drives traffic and leads. It also builds rapport and builds conversions in what you do. And it also establishes you as the authority over time as people begin to see your knowledge and see what you know, and people want to connect with you. So there's three major aspects to it, no question, and that's how I build my business,
Beautiful. Perfect. And this is going to tie really well into the next question. And again, a lot of marketers struggle online. I think one of the reasons is because they're spending a lot of time and energy doing things that really they shouldn't be doing, or they don't need to be doing. Right. And the challenge is to know the right activities to focus your time and energy on. And so what I'd like you to share with our listeners and viewers right now is, what are the high leverage activities that you invest your time and energy on? What are the big activities in your business that you do every single week that create the biggest results? What are those activities? Yeah. What is it that you focus on?
I could probably narrow it down between 3 and 5. Number one, create content, blog post with a video. This is how my big thing is. I create a blog post with a video, usually. I email my list, no matter the size of the list. I always email my content to my list. That builds rapport with my existing subscribers, my existing audience that are on my email list. I put it on Facebook as I build up my fan page. I promote it on my fan page, so I'll run an ad to that content, which drives traffic to it. I have one particular blog post that just took off and went viral, and to this day, it's got almost like 450 shares on it. I use it as part of my marketing, and we'll share that in the next segment. But it works incredibly well. People love to consume content, so I create the content, I promote it, and I email my list, and then I spend the rest of the day just connecting and chatting with people on Facebook. That's really it. I mean, honestly, like that's my overall strategy. And occasionally I do webinars as well to build rapport and give training and a lot of stuff like that. So it's really those high leverage activities where personally I love to work hard for a week and then I kind of disappear for a week, come back, work hard for a week, disappear. And I'm actually incredibly lazy. I just like to do the exact things that I think all of us entrepreneurs are just lazy. We work our tails off so we can be ultra lazy at one point,
I've heard you say that. I've heard you say that, and I think it's true.
It is, And but that's ultimately what I do. I mean, I narrow it down to a couple things, and they're just the ones that seem to continually make money over and over and over and over again, and it works.
I love that, and this has kind of been my theme and my motto over the last year is really sharing with people, helping people to understand the most important things in your business, and trying to get through to people that there's really only a handful of things that are actually important and critical. And there's internet marketing is not complicated. It's not rocket science. It's not some mystery. There's no guru secret out there. It's really just basic fundamental things that we do on a regular basis, that top marketers do on a regular basis. And that's exactly what you're sharing here.
Yeah, and I absolutely would love to dispel a myth that some people have regarding internet marketing, and that is, they look at maybe somebody like myself or a Norbert Orlowitz or somebody out there who's, a veteran in the industry who makes a lot of money and has had a lot of success. and they think, well, the reason you're getting success is because you already have notoriety. But that's not true, and I'll tell you why it's not true, because when I run ads to my specific content, I target people who have no idea who I am. You see what I mean? I do hit people that I know already as I'm building my audience, but then I target separately people that I don't know, so that I'm just building up my audience bigger and bigger. You know, and so there was a point where I had no notoriety. I was not getting any, any accolades or nothing, and I started. Everybody can start. It's just taking massive action, really.
Right. Exactly. Okay, so now let's shift the focus to something that's a really hot topic in this industry, and everybody thinks that this is where they need to focus so much energy on, which is traffic and lead generation. And obviously, lead generation and traffic is the lifeblood of your business. Yeah. So let's talk about what are you doing right now in your business specifically to bring traffic, to grow your audience, to generate leads. What's your main strategy? What is it that you're doing to do that?
So my main strategy, as of probably really the last, 6 to 8 months, to be honest, has been native advertising. And native advertising is pretty much, in a simplistic way, is creating content that answers specific questions and running ads to it. So I'm literally promoting content rather than a capture page or something like that. But I create content with links throughout the content and links on my blog, so when people come in there, they click on it, guess what opens up? A pop-up, or it sends them to a capture page. So it's indirectly driving people to my capture pages, but wrapping it all in a whole bunch of value, so they don't even feel like they're being pitched. Right. And I am heavily focused on quality leads rather than mass leads. So if I get 10 leads in one day, and they had to go through a process and come to my blog and opt in, I know that they took specific actions and showed specific interest in my content and then in what I was offering. So since I've been doing that, I've literally watched the engagement on my email list pretty much double. And so I'm getting just massive engagement. I mean, where most people are getting 5-6% open rates, I'm getting 12 to 15, and I'm getting click-through rates of 4 and 5%, and so it's pretty awesome,
Awesome, fantastic, good, and it's similar to what some other people have shared as well, as far as traffic and lead generation right now. Yeah. Now you're also big into video marketing and blogging. Do you generate quite a bit of traffic and leads through that as well, through your videos on YouTube and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, what's interesting is I have videos that I created literally like 3 years ago, and I still get leads daily from all the time. I mean, I get people that reach out to me on Facebook like, hey, I was just looking at this video. I had a guy just write the other day, one of my students is like, hey, I was doing a search and I came across this video on this. And I'm like, don't you find that interesting that I uploaded that video in like 2010? You see what I mean? It's like, it's a residual effect. And so yeah, I'm constantly, I've just been consistent with it for so long that I just that stuff constantly drives traffic and leads and it's amazing. So
you've got sort of your passive residual traffic and leads that come in through all the content that you've created and you continue to create over the years.
Yep.
Then you've got your active advertising right now that's generating new traffic and building audience through Facebook ads, native ads that are being sent to your blog.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And that's really my high focus. I've really focused heavily on that, and because I want a big list of leads, but I want a big list of engaged people. You know, and that's a big point that I'd love to point out to people is that understand you don't need 100 leads a day to make a 6-figure income.
No.
I fully believe that you could get 5 to 10 leads a day, build rapport with that audience in a big way, and you could easily build a 6-figure income with a list of 1,000 or 2,000 people. I really believe that.
Yeah.
And people that love you, they love your content, they're totally engaged in what you're doing, And I will take that any day of the week than a list of 50,000 or 100,000 that are totally disengaged, don't care less about what I do. It's just it's sexy on a sales page or a page. Hey, get 100 leads a day, woo, But in the end, I want engaged people. I'm into audience building. That's my biggest thing. So.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a really critical factor. I mean, it's a different strategy. It's not that one is wrong or one is right. You decide how you want to build your business.
Yep.
But yeah, I definitely think. I mean, in the end, when you're doing solo ads, and I've done solo ads, I do solo ads. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with solo ads. You can absolutely build a huge business doing solo ads.
Absolutely.
Just understand it's a different marketing strategy. I mean, if you get 5 to 8% open rates, that's a successful solo ad.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
And you can use solo ads to build that, and the key is just making sure you do some things to connect with them.
Right.
And so really there's no right or wrong. Again, like you said, it's just a matter of kind of figuring out what works for you and what's going to help drive your business forward, and that's what really makes the difference.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit, because you brought it out. So we're generating leads, and you mentioned you can build a good 6-figure income without a lot of leads, with a small list. And one part of that is follow-up and engagement. You've mentioned that word several times already, engagement. Yeah. And then the other part of it is actually having a monetization strategy.
Right.
And I've noticed this with a lot of students that I've engaged with. I noticed that they lack a monetization strategy.
Yeah.
So many people get into this industry, they get into online marketing, they jump behind a product, service, a business opportunity, a marketing system, whatever, and they think that their job is to go out there and promote that thing.
Yeah.
And that is not a monetization strategy online. Right. So could you share with people sort of what does your monetization strategy look like? What kind of elements do you have in place there to actually make money from this audience that you're building?
Well, definitely for me, and I was doing that exact thing when things started actually cranking for me. Believe it or not, I had a big issue with selling. Like, I really did. I in the back of my mind, I was very afraid in a sense of selling. Like, I viewed selling as a bad thing.
Right.
And like many do, you could go out and talk to many people and they'd be like, oh, I hate sales guys, And people have this kind of warped idea of what a salesperson is, and I had that, And so I went on, and it was incredible. I was making a lot of money, but I wasn't really selling other than a lot of my autoresponders were doing a lot of the work for me. And I remember I ended up talking with a buddy, Jaffe, and he talked to me about doing webinars. And he basically, Jaffe.
Yeah.
He basically looked at me and said, "You're not doing webinars?" He goes, "Dude, I love you, but you are an idiot." And that's exactly what he said to me. Yeah. He's like, you're generating all these leads and you're not doing webinars. And I think webinars really are one of the best ways to monetize your list. Number one, it's a great way to interact with your audience. You can give them super high value and have a special offer at the end. And I mean, I've done webinars where, I've made over 10 grand on one webinar. Just come on, have a great offer, and you can pitch something without having to be over pitchy. And I just believe that if people can get over that idea of what they think sales is and just provide huge amounts of value and give a special offer, you don't even have to sell. A lot of times I'll do a webinar, and I do a very unconventional webinar when I sell stuff. I bring people on, I actually teach them some stuff where they can leave the webinar and go apply it and get results even if they choose not to buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And at the end, I'm just like, look, if you want to learn more about this, you want to go even deeper on it, here's what I'm going to be doing, or here's what I've got for you. You can check it out. And man, sales just pop because people get it. They're like, wow, if this is good, if this is so good, I can only imagine what this training or whatever he's offering is gonna be. So that is definitely one monetization strategy. But having a good funnel set up as well will help you monetize it as well. But it all centers around, every single bit of what I do is centered around creating content. That's how I draw people in. with my content. It's high value. It answers questions in the marketplace, and I just lead people into, finding out more. And that's what it comes down to.
Perfect. Really good. Really good. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we keep coming back around to content.
Yeah.
I love that you brought in webinars there, because it's just like creating content, webinars do so many different things for your business. Absolutely an incredible monetization strategy. It'll also build up your confidence level.
Yep.
Huge. Positions you in the marketplace, branding, positioning, and then it's content that you can use in marketing, or you can create products, your own products with. I mean, yeah, it's starting webinars is a huge shift. If I would say, for anybody that's already seeing some results in your business, you're generating some leads, you're making some commissions, and you want to take your business to the next level, and you're looking, what do I do? Start doing webinars, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I have a coaching client, and one of the things that I just recently sat down with him, and he was like, I'm getting some leads, but I wanna compete in this affiliate contest. How do I do that? And I was like, well, why don't you do a webinar, put it together, and bring on some people. He ended up only getting 22 people registered for the webinar. Okay, 5 people showed up. And there's some things that we could do to help improve that show up rate.
Yeah.
But he had 5 people showed up and 2 people bought.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of down about that. And I'm like, wait a second, dude. Do you realize that's a 40% close rate?
Yeah, those are actually good numbers.
I know. I'm like, dude, do you realize that's a 40% close rate? And if you literally can just increase show up,
yep,
that's what's going to happen. Imagine if you close 40% and 100 people show up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, it's very easy to get down, but when you look at the numbers on it, it's like, dude, that was awesome. That's a huge success.
Man,
so,
that takes me off on a tangent there, but just to kind of mention it really quickly, that's where the power of coaching really comes in.
Yeah.
Because I see this again. This is another big challenge that I see with a lot of marketers is they don't own their successes. They don't own their value, and they don't own their successes. There's so many marketers out there that are actually achieving success. They're achieving results, but they're downplaying it because, like you said, that guy thought that he did bad. He only made 2 sales. Oh, well, that was a failure. And it's like, no, a coach can let you see the perspective. It's like, no, actually, that's a 40% close rate. All you need to do is improve show rate.
Yeah.
Improve how many people you get on the webinar, and you've got something you can scale and grow. You've got an awesome webinar here. So just a little plug in there for coaching and mentorship, because I know that several people mention that as something that can really help you grow your business is coaching and mentorship.
No question about it. No question. That's one of the things that's helped me tremendously just over the last year. Grow from a 6-figure business to a multi-6-figure business.
That's right, and I've heard you mention that quite a bit. I mean, you've invested. I mean, here you are. You're a 6-figure income earner. You've been making money online for quite some time, and in this year, I believe you invested more money into education than you have ever before. Correct?
Dude, more than ever before, and I've invested in coaching, and I had my first 2014 was a multi-6-figure year for me. And I'm already on pace this year to blow. I'm already blown past what I made last year. And by the end of this year, my hope and my goal is to double what I made last year. So, so we'll see how it pans out. I'm certainly shooting for it. I got some plans in the works right now. But I mean, it's incredible, man. It really is. But you nail it. Do not downplay successes, because even the little successes are the foundation that you build upon.
Right.
And it's like, okay, you only got 2 sales. That's freaking amazing. That's awesome. Really? Yeah, dude. I mean, now you take that info that you did on this, and okay, now how do I make it bigger?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's where, okay, we got 22 registered. Let's work on getting 50 registered next time, and let's do some things to increase your show up rate so more people come on. Mm-hmm. And then see it. So just it's all a matter of perspective, and I believe that's what a coach can really help do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let me ask you now very specifically, And I know there's a lot of things you're doing in your business, but there's also, like you said, there's only a handful of things that you're doing in your business.
Yeah.
But what would you say right now? What's the best thing that you're doing in your marketing right now? You know, maybe that you this year, let's say, you know, you said that you've already blown past your 2014 income.
Yeah.
You know, what are some of the things that have changed? What's the best thing that you're doing in your marketing right now that's giving you such incredible results?
You know, it's kind of it's not like a technique or anything like that, but what I've done is I've continued to do what I know works, which is creating content, drive traffic to the content, you know, get leads from that content, extract leads, you know, webinars, things like that. But one of the things that I've done over the last year and a half is I have built more relationships with people via live events. I have literally made every opportunity to get to live events and connect with other influencers in the industry. And what that has also done is it's also increased my exposure and has helped build my audience back to me in a big way, and that's made a difference. I'm telling you, like, getting to live events is so critical, so crucial, so important, on top of everything else we've mentioned about, you know, the simple things, investing in you, you know, your education, coaching, you know, continuing on those paths. Getting to live events has made all the difference, man. I mean, it really, really has, and it's taken my exposure way up, and you know, that's how I've kind of scaled it in a way, and it's just building quality relationships. I know that's not like a marketing strategy or a traffic technique, but you know, it's made a huge difference. So.
Yeah, but that goes into the building relationships aspect of business. Which is one of those big, you know, one of those pillars, I think, of successful business is the relationships, is building those relationships.
Well, you know what, and here's the thing, you know, it depends on what your business model is, but even affiliate marketers, okay, who are not like people in network marketing or home-based business, so to speak, they're affiliate marketers that love to drive traffic to offers and just, you know, never talk to anybody, okay? The biggest affiliate marketers, guess what they've done? They've formed joint partnerships.
Absolutely.
They're building relationships. Like, I see one guy promoting the other guy's stuff, and they're promoting that, and you just know that these guys have built these relationships.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge. Okay. All right, so let's wrap it up here. We've provided a ton of value already in just these short 20 minutes here. Mark, thank you so much. So let's wrap it up with 3 final tips, and you might be repeating yourself, and that's perfectly okay, because, you know, like I say over and over again, there's really only a handful of things that are really important in your business. But give us some 3 tips to our listeners and viewers right now to help them in creating their profitable online business, to help them to get that breakthrough that they're looking for. 3 quick tips, 3 main things to think about, to focus.
Number 1, stop trying to be perfect. Okay, stop trying to create the perfect video, the perfect blog post, the perfect capture page, the perfect funnel, the perfect follow-up series before you take action. Total downer. It'll kill you faster than you know. Okay, so stop trying to be perfect at everything. Just do something and get it out there. I don't care how crappy it is. You'd be surprised. A lot of the crappiest looking funnels are some of the best converting funnels. Is that not the truth, Norbert?
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely. Yeah.
So don't worry about it. Just start doing, and you can make tweaks as you go. Number 2, continue to invest in you. Okay. The best way that I believe you can spend your money is on your skills and your training and education, because I learned this from Mike Dillard years ago. And he said, if I have my last $500, what do I spend it on? Would I go out and buy some leads and hopefully build my business, or would I spend that last $500 on training, resources, and skills? And when I learned that the best way to do that is to in your skills, the difference is if I took that $500 and went and bought leads, once I call all those leads, that's it. The $500 is gone. If I spend it on my skills, guess what? I've got skills that will never leave me. And I can use them over and over and over and over to continue to generate revenue over and over and over and over again. That's why I fully believe in training courses and coaching, because you're investing in you and your skills, and the more you get there, the more they'll pay you. Nobody will ever take away from me the skills I know regarding lead generation. They're always here.
Absolutely.
So stop being perfect, invest in you, and number 3, if you want some strategy, get creating content. Start sharing what you learn and what you've bought courses and training for. The reason you've gotten coaching, you've invested, now go out and teach it to others. And that is the best way through content creation. So those are my 3 tips that really will make all the difference.
Beautiful. Mark, perfect 3 tips to end on. That's, I couldn't have said it better myself. Mark, thank you so much for giving your time and sharing with us your wisdom and your knowledge and your experience and your strategies, and sharing with us exactly what's working for you in your business. And if you want to learn more from Mark, you want to make sure you get plugged in and listen to the premium interview that we've got coming up for you as well. But Mark, thank you so much for sharing with our viewers and our listeners some really great tips, some really great knowledge from your personal experience. I want to congratulate you for all your success, because you really have achieved incredible success. But more than that, it's how many people's lives you've been able to impact and touch through your generosity and through sharing the value that you've been building up. So I just want to give you a big congratulations and a big thanks.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And just so everybody knows, when I first got online, the guy I looked up to was Norbert Orlowitz and Brian Finale, and those guys. I mean, you guys have had a bigger impact on me than you realize. So I just want to say thanks to you guys too, because you guys have definitely made a difference. So I got to thank people along the way, man. I got to thank you too, brother. You made
awesome.
You did some cool things, man. Of course, you were wearing glasses at that time, but you know.
Yeah.
Who's this guy all over the internet with glasses?
And now you got the hat thing going on, and that's,
I know, right?
Your branding, right?
Yeah, there you go. I appreciate you, man. So
awesome, Mark. Always a pleasure to chat with you, and really appreciate you being here. So want to thank you so much, and just want to tell everybody to tune in to the next episode where we have some more great guests, top producers, and rising stars sharing with you guys exactly what's working in their business. Thanks again, Mark.
See you, bud. Thanks.
I hope you enjoyed this week's Playmaker session. If you love the session, subscribe now to our YouTube channel so you never miss our weekly episodes. Be sure to also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just type in Online Playmakers in the search bar and click subscribe, and be sure to leave a 5-star review. All of the episodes, show notes, transcripts, resources, and bonuses are available on the blog over at onlineprofitplaybook.com, along with several bonus free tutorials I've created for you as well. Your fast track to results is to follow the Playmakers. You can download their closely guarded playbooks and follow them step by step to grow your influence, build your audience, and create results in your business right now. Head over to onlineprofitplaybook.com and join the Playmakers to get full access today. Thank you again for joining us today, and be sure to tune in next week as we bring you another power-packed session with the top Playmakers online. This is Norbert Orlowitz signing off.